Sounds of a lawnmower cutting grass surround me. The sweet smell of fresh mowed grass. Can you smell it? Sun shining, gentle breeze, trees already slipping into their shades of autumn glory, reds and golds. Today is a day to encounter creation. Each day I drive past farmers' fields, as I've enjoyed through the winter, spring and summer. I've watched the land change from hard snow-covered to rain-pelted mud, and farmers waited anxiously through a wet spring, testing the soil, waiting for the time to plant. Gradually, buds of green appeared and shoots grew. Sometimes overnight they sprouted. Now the corn stands tall and high, waving in the breeze of early autumn. Soya changes from green to yellow and brown, each holding a harvest. Farmers waiting for the ripening and hurry to harvest before the snows of winter. Soon, we will gather to give thanks for the harvest. Today, we gather to consider our relationship with the land. In Genesis chapter 1, we hear a story of creation, of God's Spirit hovering over creation, and God speaking creation into being. The land being formed, and God calling this creation good. In the second chapter, we are told about God kneeling in the earth, with hands in the mud, forming humanity, and breathing life into Adam, Adama, earthling. And humanity was placed in the garden of creation to tend and to till, and it was good. Today, we consider our relationship to the land. For many of us, we think of our native land, the land that gave us birth. Something that is echoed in our Genesis reading, in the Psalm. The land that gives us birth is the land that sustains us. It is also the land that cries out for justice, as people across the globe cry out for food, for justice. Wars have taken place because of land. In Scotland, many wars have taken place over land. There's a song that sings, "O flower of Scotland, when will we see your likes again? When will you rise again and be the nation that fought and died for your wee bit hill and glen?" This is my land, not your land. And the earth swallows the blood of generations, drinking our inhumanity, drowning in our anger and mistrust. We consider this day our relationship to the land, the soil, the earth, that has been over-farmed, nutrients sucked out, needing to be replenished by man-made chemicals. This land that has been over-ploughed, and each year's soil, good, life-giving soil, is eroded and blown away by the winds. We live in a time when words like global warming, climate change and ecology are catchphrases. We know what they mean, and we wonder what can we do about them. Polar ice caps melting, spring floods and summer droughts, changing climates, farmers pushing the production of the land to its limits, trying to get the maximum crop yield. Across the globe, there is starvation, drought, and fear. There is a push for viable, sustainable, environmental development. We live with the threat of nuclear disaster, not like the fear of the Cold War, but fear from our dependence on nuclear fuel. Japan has still not managed to stop the leak from the nuclear reactor damaged in the earthquake some months ago. The oil sands cause a deep scar on the earth, and the First Nations people cry out. Their water is being polluted. The oil sands developers say they are careful about the sludge, that they monitor the level of toxins in the water to ensure that they stay within reasonable amounts. We continue to be dependent on fossil fuels. We have words in our vocabulary like toxic sludge, open cast mining, oil sands, pollution and landfills. We dig craters in the earth and pour into the land our waste. And the land cries out for justice. We expect the land to continue to sustain us, to feed us. There are wars over oil. There is ecological destruction. How do we delight in creation? How does the earth cry out to God? Those are the questions I pondered on the bright sunny day, surrounded by the scent of freshly cut grass, sunshine and trees. Those are the questions I pondered. Here in this place, here in my home place, it is easy for me to delight in creation. I live in a beautiful place. Not all of Earth's people are as lucky as I am, as we are. Many people live in constant conditions of drought and famine. We are all aware of the death and disaster in the Horn of Africa. Have you heard it said that one day we will all be accountable to God for our actions? I wonder how many of us consider the ways we live in creation, and are those ways one of those items that we will be held accountable for? Listen to some verses from Psalm 8. Lord, our Lord, how majestic is your name in all the earth. When I consider your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and the stars, which you have set in place, what is mankind that you are mindful of them, human beings that you care for them? You made them a little lower than the angels and crowned them with glory and honor. You made them rulers over the works of your hands. You put everything under their feet, all flocks and herds, and the animals of the wild, and the birds in the sky, and the fish in the sea, all that swim in the paths of the seas. There is a line in there that stands out for me. It is this: you made them rulers over the works of your hands. To me, as I understand that, it means we are stewards, carers of God's creation. How will we account to God for what we have done with creation, the ways that we have abused creation, the ways we have not listened nor cared? I want you to listen now to a children's story, a story that gives the land a voice. This story comes from the Seasons of the Spirit curriculum. It is entitled, You Were There, and is based on Psalm 139, the one we watched on PowerPoint. I am land. In the very beginning, Creator took some stardust and formed me. I was shaped into beautiful high mountains and dry deserts, magnificent beaches and rocky canyons, fertile farmlands and soggy wetlands. I was made with care and love. And when I was formed, Creator smiled and said, "This land is beautiful. This land is good." Creator brought us together to care for one another. God intended us to live in peace and harmony. You would care for me, and in return, I would care for you. But humankind forgot. They took from me and forgot to give back. They destroyed and forgot to heal. They forgot to care. Today, I'm hurting badly. But even though I am sad and hurting, I know that Creator is with me. If you are very quiet and still, and listen very carefully, you can hear me sing a song to Creator. Can you hear the words? Listen to the song. Creator God, you are always with me. Your love holds me tight. When my forests are ripped away, you are there. When my beauty is covered with rubbish, you are there. If my earth is dug up, with no thought to my friends who live there, I cry. But even there your love will find me. If I say, surely smoke from the factories shall cover me and stop the sun from shining through, even the choking smoke is not too dark for you. You find me underneath the buildings and the roads and the factories, and your love gives me hope. And there is hope, for Creator God moves through me and whispers words of encouragement. Slowly, slowly things are changing. All over the world, people are working with the God, the Creator, to bring healing. Gradually, you are remembering to live in peace with me. You are remembering to care. Children plant trees and teach grown-ups about recycling. Teenagers pick up rubbish and raise money to save forests. Brave grown-ups work to stop factories from covering me with choking smoke. Scientists are learning how to clean up the chemicals that have poisoned my earth. Whenever this happens, God, Creator, moves to bring healing. And then I am glad. This week, I invite each one of us to consider ways we might show our love to the earth by doing something, making a change, however small, and remembering that the earth is holy, created by God, and God called it good. God placed humanity in the garden to till it and to tend it, so that generations will be able to enjoy the sunshine and the smell of fresh grass. enjoy good food, develop sustainable communities, communities which include the land. So today, at the end of the service, I invite you, if you are willing and if you are able, to come down and touch the soil, the earth, here beneath the tree. Take a heart, take it home, and write one thing on it that you will do and have done for creation this week. Then bring it back next week and place it on our tree. Amen.